Hey everybody, how's it going? I am your host Adrian, coming to you almost live from lovely Petaluma, California, here in Studio MC2 at Quicksurf Internet Studios. The Geekinator is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Do feel free to head on over to techpodcast.com and check out all the other technology-related shows over there as well. Please do visit us online over at quicksurf.com. Subscribe to the show if you have not already done so. For those of you who have, thank you so much. In the show notes for every episode, I have a subscribe heading, and underneath that subscribe heading, I have links to subscribe to an OGG Vorbis feed, an MP3 feed, and both a standard definition and high definition video feed. So you've got lots of choice to subscribe to your feed of choice using your podcatching application or device of choice. Also, you can find us online over at YouTube, blip.tv, Dailymotion, and Stitcher.com. So if those are your preferred ways of consuming media, then go check us out over there as well. Let's go ahead and get into the cool stuff that we got for this episode. Surfing around, kind of a light. I try to keep the show less newsy and more cool links that I found, but they're kind of light this today. So a couple of things. Over at the Register, Curiosity is now out of safe mode, doing science again. We did report an episode or two back that Curiosity had gone into safe mode and pretty much battened down what it was doing to survive a solar storm. Well, the NASA has diagnosed and corrected the problem that they were having, and the rover is now using the spare, but the A computer is once again ready for duty if required. So they did manage to get the A computer back up and running. So it's resuming its analysis of the powdered samples of Martian rock that it drilled a few weeks back. But it's having a problem with how to combat the radio signal warping effects of the sun. So there's still having some issues that they're working through, but it's good to see that it's now, at least back up and running. Over at Slash Gear, Google Plus. How many of you use Google Plus? I do. You can find my Google Plus profile linked up in the show notes. Google Plus has added support for animated GIF profile pictures. This is kind of cool. It's really super old school. Animated GIFs are, kind of went through a fad stage back in the mid to late 90s, even as early as the, early 2000s. And Google Plus is adding support for animated GIFs in your profile picture. So if you have an animated GIF, you can put it in your profile picture and have a little animation. I don't know how. I don't know. There's definitely some gee whiz whiz bang gizmo type thing to it, but am I going to go make an animated GIF for my profile picture? Come on. No, I'm not. I like my profile picture that I have. From Mashable, Evernote versus Google Keep, which does more? We talked about Google Keep on the last episode. I've not yet had a chance to check it out simply because I've been busy. However, this is a nice little shootout between Evernote and Google Keep, so definitely check it out if you're looking to see how Google Keep fares in relation to Evernote. From Ars Technica, the FAA policy on electronics during flight to likely change before 2014. This is pretty nice. I've long wondered this. If they're allowing pilots to have iPads aboard for their flight plans and they're turned on while they're taking off and landing, why is it that we cannot have our phones on and be doing something like, watching videos, or something of that nature? That has always driven me absolutely bonkers. And more often than not, even though they say you must power it down, all I do is put my phone into plane mode and tuck it into my pocket. I haven't, it's been years since I've actually physically powered my phone down during a flight. And I suspect easily half of the phones on the airplane, I suspect easily half of those people aren't even putting their phone into airplane mode. They're just simply keeping it in their pocket and not doing anything, because when they make that announcement, you know, I don't see anybody pulling their phone out and turning it off. They literally are just like, yeah, whatever, you know, or you see them do exactly what I do. They take their phone out of their pocket, go into the settings, airplane mode, turn the screen off, stick it back in their pocket. I don't see why the FAA is, clearly the FAA is not keeping up with the pace of technology and electronics. If I'm not emitting a radio signal, why do I need to have it powered down? Even better, it would be awesome if I could have Wi-Fi and jump on the plane's Wi-Fi while I'm on the ground and carry on that way through takeoff and landing and all that other stuff. I know they don't power that stuff down to take off and land. I seriously doubt they power all that down. So I'm just curious, it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. I hope they fix this, because it's ridiculous. From Wired.com, Microsoft updates core Windows 8 productivity apps, Mail, Calendar, and People. This is pretty neat. If you're a Windows 8 user, Microsoft has updated the core bundled productivity apps that come with it. So hopefully you'll be more productive. Mail, which is arguably the most important of the three apps, the Windows 8 Mail app, will now get more organizational tools. You'll be able to filter your email accounts so they show only unread mails, which is kind of nice. You'll also be able to create and delete folders directly in the Mail app. No more having to go to your individual accounts elsewhere to manage folders. Huge boon. Mail in OS 10 is really similar to that. Calendar, the bare bones calendar app is getting a new look. Viewing options and scheduling support. Color bars replace color blocks. Nice. This is very OS 10-ish and Google Calendar-ish, which design-wise should make your calendar entries easier to read. Yeah, got that right. They've also added a work week view, which will limit your calendar view to weekdays only. So interesting. The People app will get the least improvements of the three. So the only real improvements include the ability to post on your friends' Facebook walls. The ability to filter through the What's New section more quickly, and a new app commands bar, which you can bring up by swiping in from the top. Again, very iOS and Android-like. Also from Wired.com, robots, electronics hacking, and kids. That's right. This is a nice commentary story about the role of electronics and robots and hacking in children. I definitely recommend that you read this. I am very much, I have kids, and I'm very much into doing a little electronics projects and bringing the munchkins, if you will, into the electronics fold and computers and all that good stuff. Whether or not it sticks, that's to be seen, but exposure is key. And so that's a very excellent read. By all means, check it out. From hackaday.com, giving an electric RC plane an afterburner. I thought this was awesome. The folks at Flight Test decided to add some extra power to an electric DH.100 Vampire RC plane by adding a butane afterburner. After some testing and a bit of fire, they were able to make it fly. Woohoo! Their afterburner uses a small butane canister for fuel. A servo motor actuates the valve on the canister, forcing fuel into a tube. This tube is set up to regulate the flow of butane and ensure it vaporizes before reaching the afterburner. At the Afterburner, a circular piece of tubing with holes is used to dispense fuel, much like a barbecue. This tube is connected to one side of the stun gun's flyback generator, and the metal surrounding it is connected to the other. The stun gun creates sparks across the gap and ignites the fuel. With the extra components added, the landing gear was removed to save weight, and the plane was given a nice coat of paint. So they've got a YouTube video of it. Pretty interesting. It didn't give quite as much thrust as probably they were hoping, not like a real Afterburner would, but they did get some additional thrust. But, as it says, it sounds and looks awesome. So definitely check it out. That will do it for this episode of the Geekinator. As always, everything we've talked about is linked up in the show notes, which you can find online over at quicksurf.com. Please do shoot me an email, geekinator@quicksurf.com, if you want to send any links my way to take a look at for possible inclusion in an episode, or for feedback or any of that sort of thing. And also, please do subscribe to the show if you have not already done so. And with that, I will see all of you on the next episode. See you then. Bye.